I think I finally understand why Summer won't eat meat. I never realized how awful it smells. Sylvia thought breakfast smelled delicious, but she knew better than to discuss food with someone suffering from a stomach bug. Perhaps you should go back to bed, dear. Matthew seems to have everything well in hand, and you wouldn't want to pass on whatever you have to our guests during registration. At the stove, Matt choked back a laugh. I don't think we have to worry about any of them taking home this particular souvenir. We can't be too careful. I'll be all right in a moment. Sarah pushed herself to her feet. It's my turn to fix breakfast, and I'm not going to shirk my duty. Shirk away, honey, said Matt. I have everything under control. Beginning today, we'll have a professional chef on staff again, Sylvia reminded her. Anna's planning a cold buffet for lunch, but supper will be a gourmet feast. She phoned me with the menu. Mushroom and rosemary soup, salmon fillets, an eggplant ratatouille that Summer is sure to love, and chocolate mousse for dessert. Best of all, no more kitchen duty for the rest of us. I can't wait, Sarah croaked, then pressed her lips together and hurried from the room. She'll be fine, said Matt when Sylvia rose to go after her. Don't worry, just give her a minute, and she'll be back here scrambling eggs. Sylvia wasn't so sure, but she put on a pot of coffee and offered to mix up a batch of biscuits. Just as she was about to dust her hands with flour to knead the dough, Sarah returned, looking remarkably better. She insisted on taking over, and when the younger couple overruled Sylvia's protests, she left them to their work. She filled 2 travel mugs with coffee, cream and sugar for her, sugar only for Andrew, and carried them out the back door and down 4 steps to the rear parking lot. Outside, the air was cool from the night and misty, dew fresh on the grass. Insects chirped and buzzed and darted in the sunlight shafting through the forest canopy, the elms barely stirring in the still air. Sylvia knew the day ahead would be warm and humid, but the gray stone walls of Elm Creek Manor would keep their arriving guests cool and comfortable, as long as she reminded Sarah to open all the windows and keep plenty of lemonade on ice. With a mug in each hand, Sylvia crossed the bridge over Elm Creek without spilling a single drop. Andrew's favorite fishing spot, a large, round, flat rock on the creek bank beneath a willow tree, had been her favorite secluded hideaway as a child. Whenever she had needed time alone to think or to cool her temper after an argument with her sister, she had stolen away to the willow and the rock. The musical burbling of the creek never failed to soothe her, and sometimes even now, a woman grown, she favored the private spot for quiet contemplation. But she was happy to share it with her dear Andrew. She knew better than to scare away the fish by calling out to him when she spied him through the willow branches, that faded, worn fishing cap on his head, a tackle box on the rock by his side. She approached quietly, but her footfalls alerted him when she was still several yards away. He glanced over his shoulder, and his face lit up at the sight of her. "There's my girl," he said, his voice low. Shifting his fishing rod to one hand, he patted the rock beside him. Sylvia gladly took the offered seat, handed him his coffee, and rested her head upon his shoulder as he drew her closer. "Anything biting?" "No, keepers. Not like you." He sipped his coffee and nodded to show it was just the way he liked it. "You're definitely a keeper. I'm glad to know you don't plan to throw me back." "Not on your life." She smiled, and they sat in companionable silence, watching minnows draw close to the hook and dart away into the shadows. "Sarah and Matt have breakfast cooking," Sylvia remarked. "Sarah seems to be under the weather." Andrew grinned. "She's not sick. She's just sick of cooking." "No, that's not it. I urged her to return to bed, but she flatly refused." Sarah wasn't a shirker. If anything, she worked herself too hard. "But I think we'll all be happy when Anna Del Masso joins our staff today. We've been without a real chef for too long. If those cookies she brought to her job interview are any indication, she's going to be a great addition to the staff." "I couldn't agree more. If she can make a simple sugar cookie taste that delicious, I can't wait to see what she'll do for Judy's going-away party." Sylvia's